I'm Ryan.
I'm Jackie.
And together we are Functionally Literate. That's right. Today we are discussing chapters 9 through 11 of Jane Eyre, the classic story written in the 19th century by Charlotte Bronte.
Bronte boys.
I
I think that especially the 9th chapter here, which we'll get into pretty quickly, bit of a heartbreaker.
I have feelings about this episode. I have feelings.
What are your feelings?
I have strong feelings. I'm going to get into them as soon as we get started talking about this book. Is there anything that we want to recap or say now about the prior 8 chapters that we didn't mention?
Just that Jane's life was sort of kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
Until, I don't know, until now.
Jane Eyre's life is bullshit.
Jane Eyre's been pushed around for a little while.
Yeah.
Finds her feet, finds her voice.
Yeah.
Goes to school.
Yeah.
Gets pushed around a little bit more. Finds a friend. Sees that friend getting pushed around. Doesn't like that. And Jane's just wandering through this life. Trying to find her place. Trying to find her voice. She finally has a friend who she just enjoyed some community with Miss Temple.
She just got exonerated by Miss Temple.
Mm-hmm.
Brocklehursts tried to ruin her life, and Temple was like, no.
Not today.
She's a good girl. She is not a liar. She's a good girl. And then everybody was like, yay.
We can be friends now.
Let's have bread and coffee.
Because that's nutrition in the 19th century.
Yeah. Chapter 9 is how, like, half of Lowood died. So typhus.
Ain't it a bitch? Here's the thing, is that, so I looked up specifically not typhus. I looked something else up, which we'll get to. But frankly, the fact that any just sort of diseases would be rampant in a poorly built, poorly insulated, place with pupils that are underfed and, malnourished.
Underfed.
Overworked.
Sharing beds, all in the same room.
All this to say, no vaccines. We're pro-vaccines on this podcast,
yes,
my
we
baby.
are.
No vaccines. Not even a kind word. So frankly, is it that surprising that, in the winter, people would get sick? No.
What is surprising? Except it's not really surprising because fuck the Brocklehursts!
Fuck them.
This is the Brocklehursts' fault.
It is. It doesn't, I don't think, honestly, it specifically says that in there.
No, I'm saying it. It's Brocklehursts' fault.
For sure.
It's his fault. He did not do anything that he should have to take care of these poor women, these poor girls.
Mm-hmm.
And once typhus started going around, he just disappeared. He's like, oh, I'm not going to get sick. I was
We're out of here.
Oh, okay, you're not going to get sick, but are you doing anything for them? No.
He pulled a real Ted Cruz, didn't he?
He just fucking
He
disappeared.
just ski-daddled.
Yeah. He's like, I'm going to fly to Mexico.
Bye. So the numbers are that they're out of the 80 girls at the school.
45
are sick.
Have typhus.
They're getting sick because of the school conditions.
But Jane's fine.
Jane's just fine, but I will say that so she and the other children do get to kind of have their run of the place at this point because everybody's busy taking care of the sick ones, which is the majority of them.
It was interesting, right? Because you get this impression from Jane that, like, she's happy that she's got a bit more freedom, but it's difficult to be happy when all of these people are sick.
Right. And that's an epiphany that she sort of kind of eases into once she realizes a couple of things. But, in talking about all of the beautiful flowers and the flora and fauna around the school that she gets to see while they're out canoodling and canaddling out there.
They're not canoodling.
Maybe they were.
These are church girls in the 19th century. Nobody's canoodling.
I was a church girl in the 19th century, and I can tell you.
You fib.
About part of it. But which part?
Well, last I checked, you're not 100-something.
No, man, I look good.
Yeah, you do.
Anyway, what's happening is these girls get to flop around outside all day. with no restriction. They're good. So
no supervision.
Mm-mm.
Because the women in charge that are healthy are too busy taking care of everybody that's sick.
Yes. So Jane notices that she gets to partake in all of these, specifically flowers outside, how beautiful they are. And there's this quote in here which kind of hit me sideways. She's describing the flowers and all of that, and I'm jumping into the middle of the quote, which says, "These fragrant treasures were all useless for most of the inmates of Lowood."
Yeah.
By the way, describing them as inmates is hilarious.
Yeah.
And not wrong, but
yeah,
funny. Anyway, useless for most of the inmates of Lowood, except to furnish now and then a handful of herbs and blossoms to put on a coffin.
Damn.
Yeah.
So it's not actually specified in this chapter how many girls die.
I mean, you can't imagine that the survival rate's probably very high.
No, it's probably dismal.
Yeah.
So Jane, she's spending time with this girl called Mary Ann Wilson. Jane likes her because she has good vibes and because she was witty and original.
Listen.
Good vibes is my parlance, not Jane's.
The vibes were immaculate, basically. And so she was hanging. And then Jane kind of has this epiphany like, oh, right. Where's Helen?
That's how you interpret it?
Kind
because
of.
I interpret it more like, because she stops and she's like, and where, meantime, was Helen Burns?
Right.
Why did I not spend these sweet days of liberty with her? Had I forgotten her? And I had to stop because I had to make a prediction. I was like, okay, here's what I think's going to happen. And my guess was typhus, obviously, or worse, her favorite abuser, Miss Scatcherd, got typhus, and Helen is taking care of her.
Oh, what an interesting prediction.
But that's not what happened.
Well, spoilers.
What are you talking about? It's happening in this chapter.
It was also written, 200 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair.
So,
Fine.
2 pages later, we find out that it's not typhus, it's consumption, which I don't know what that is, but it sounds bad. Is it a brain tumor?
It's tuberculosis.
Ew, no!
Which is the thing that I looked up. So, Jane goes to find Helen, but before she does, there was a doctor called to the school. I believe kind of specifically for Helen, maybe not for the other typhoid
typhus
positive.
Is run of the mill. Fuck them.
Regular, normal. But the doctor goes in, comes back out and leaves, and then there's a maid kind of around. Maid, whatever. And she says that, she tells Jane that Helen, she'll not be here long.
And this is the first time that Jane made an intuitive leap whenever someone says something like this.
Mm-hmm.
She understood, oh, fuck, Helen's gonna die.
Yeah. So Jane goes all around the house, or the school, and finds Helen in Miss Temple's room.
You're skipping a little bit.
Oh, I am? Sorry.
So what you're skipping over is that she asked this woman, can I see her? And she said, no, get on.
No.
Go on outside. Get out of here.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
And then, naturally, she sneaks out of her bed later that night.
True, yeah, you're
and
right.
Sneaks in to find Helen.
I jumped.
You jumped a little bit.
I pulled a Wyatt Earp.
Yeah. So you've got this girl who, her best friend, her current best friend anyways, is sequestered away. The only times she ever sees Helen is when she's permitted to go outside for some air, but nobody's allowed to approach her or talk to her or anything like that.
Right.
And then that's when she asks this nursemaid or whoever about Helen.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, she's like, oh, well, she's not long for this world. And so yeah, naturally Jane's like, okay, well, I'm gonna go fucking see my friend. And so she does. And immediately when she goes into Miss Temple's room, she says, Helen, are you awake?
And Helen said, what?
Yeah, basically.
Who that is?
They talk a bit, and it's heartbreaking. Jane doesn't want to accept that her friend is dead, and so she's asking these leading questions to get her friend to admit that she's dead. And she's like, she's dying, rather. And she's like, oh, well, I wanted to see you before that happened, and she's like, well, you've got good timing. I don't think I'm gonna last much longer.
So Helen talks about, she's excited to go to her last home. She mentions that all she's got in this world is her father, who is newly married and won't miss her.
Damn.
Which hurts. Jane asks her, will I see you again after you die? And Helen's like, well, it kind of depends on what you believe. Maybe.
Maybe.
But Helen is tired after coughing, and they snuggle up.
Yeah, she's like, oh, stay with me, Jane.
Yes.
And so Jane does, and then they fall asleep together, and then someone wakes up Jane and carries her back to her bed, and nobody punishes her.
No.
They're preoccupied. She doesn't know why they're preoccupied until a couple days later, and that's when she finds out that Helen had died while Jane was in her arms.
So the quote goes, and which breaks my heart every time, no matter how many times I've read this book, dozens, I tear up.
Yeah.
Because poor Helen.
Yeah.
But she says, my face against Helen Burns' shoulder, my arms around her neck. I was asleep, and Helen was dead. And that's it. Jane just gets carried out, and then Jane remarks that Helen had a grave that was just sort of a hump of earth. And then 15 years later, there's a stone with her name on it that says Resurgam.
I looked up what that meant.
You did?
I did.
What did you find?
It means I shall rise again. Yeah, you fucking will, Helen. One day.
Absolutely. Or whatever. I mean, it depends on what you believe.
Man, that sucks. I liked Helen.
Helen was great. So, the thing about Resurgam and the I Shall Rise Again, I really think that it's kind of a bit of foreshadowing.
How so?
Because it alludes to Helen's faith, obviously. Helen believes that the future, at least for her, is going to be bright, even if she's in her creator's arms. I think it ends up kind of foreshadowing Jane's journey, sort of showing you how Jane has risen so far, and that surely Jane's going to keep rising and keep going, because Helen does say, please don't mourn me. You keep going. I'm fine. I'm good. This is what I've been looking forward to.
Look, this is actually a painless process. I'm just kind of fading away.
I'm good.
That's okay.
I'm sick.
I'm gonna go where I want to go.
Mm-hmm.
It's heartbreaking.
It is.
I don't think it's heartbreaking for Helen, though. Like, I think Helen believes what she's saying.
I think Helen knew a long time ago that when she went out, it was going to be just fine. Helen was good. She's cool.
Yeah.
So I had looked up, we brought up that, everybody else was dying of typhus, but that wasn't the thing that I looked up. I looked up tuberculosis. In about 1750s-ish England, there was a massive tuberculosis outbreak.
Okay.
Where a quarter of the adult population died.
Shit.
Yeah. So not quite plague numbers or anything, but...
A quarter is nothing to snuff at.
Right.
Those are numbers where if nobody in your family died, someone died.
Absolutely. Look to your left and look to your right.
Yeah.
2 of you are going to be dead from tuberculosis pretty soon.
So then, Jane's like, up to now, I've said much of my childhood. Now, I skip 8 years. I'm only going to talk about things I feel would be of interest to her. And her has to be Helen, because who else could it fucking be?
What do you mean?
She says, well, I mean what I just said. All Jane is going to talk about now is what she thinks would have been interest to her. We don't know who her is, but I think her has to be Helen, because Helen is who we were just talking about.
No. She's not talking about Helen. She's talking about Memory with a capital M. She is personifying Memory, her own self.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, leave that bitch Helen in the dust, boy.
We're done with Helen.
Helen's done.
All
That
done
chapter
with
is
Helen.
done. We're in chapter 10 now. Dry your tears, book.
Damn, okay.
So she says she's bound to invoke memory, capital M, where I know her responses will possess some degree of interest. I love it. She's like, everything was kind of boring for a while.
I mean, yeah, she was a fucking private church school for 8 years.
8 years.
2 of them as a teacher.
So she started the school when she was 10. Now, of course, she's 18 years old.
She started teaching at 16.
Mm-hmm.
The fuck?
Well, after everybody else died, who else were they going to get to teach, man?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Jeez Louise. So, I love this chapter a lot because...
Fuck the Reeds!
Fuck the Reeds.
Sorry, I had to say that again because I feel like this is exactly what Mrs. Reed wanted. She wanted Jane to die of typhus.
Do you really think that Mrs. Reed wanted her to die actively?
No. But I think that when you said that there's nothing else Mrs. Reed could do to hurt her, yeah, no fucking joke, because typhus.
Because typhus! Yeah, you're right.
So Jane goes on to tell us that so many people died that it attracted public interest.
Mm-hmm.
And so a bunch of people started paying attention to Lowood, and they noticed, oh shit, Lowood kind of fucking sucks ass. What's that about? Oh, Brocklehurst? Hey, Brocklehurst, do you need some help? And so, like, these rich fucks start pumping money into the Institute. Enough money that they made a new building in better conditions at a better location.
New regulations and everything.
And Brocklehurst was relegated to one of 3 treasurers. Why he wasn't arrested, I don't know. Probably rich privilege.
Oh, and how? Oh, well, it definitely says that he was, quote, wealth and family connections, which could not be overlooked. So he retained the post of treasurer. Of course, with a bit of guidance.
A bit.
Thank God.
Just a bit.
So it doesn't say it, but I think you could certainly infer it. And if you haven't already, I don't know what book you've been reading, but you know Brocklehurst's been skimming off the top, right?
I mean, what else would he do?
What else would he do?
I didn't put that together, but that doesn't fucking surprise me.
How are his ladies in furs and taffetas and silks?
Fucking stupid. Fucking bullshit.
All the curls?
I hate that guy.
Yeah, he's not great.
He's
Do you hate Mrs. Reed or Mr. Brocklehurst more?
Jane could have died because of Brocklehurst, so it's hard not to hate Brocklehurst more.
True.
However, it's really hard to compare murder, or, well, not murder, but manslaughter.
At the very least.
It's hard to compare manslaughter versus outright neglect for 10 years.
It wasn't personal with Brocklehurst. At least.
That almost makes it worse.
I know. I know. Freaking Brocklehurst. Yeah, so things get better.
Yeah, the school gets rebuilt. She went to school. It was fine. She wasn't unhappy. She was busy. She was learning.
Booked and busy, girl.
And then she says, I remained an inmate of its walls after its regeneration for 8 years, 6 as pupil, 2 as teacher. And in both capacities, I bear my testimony to its value and importance.
I love that. Because it's she is able to look at the situation that she's in, one that there is no other situation that she knows.
Yeah.
And she was able to take that situation after everything got fixed and is cleaned up and better to think, you know what? This school ain't half bad. Now it's fine. No, I would be way more bitter than her.
Well, I think part of the reason that she wasn't was because of Miss Temple.
Absolutely. Temple comes up here.
She says that Miss Temple was there the whole time, but then she got married to, and I love this bit, a clergyman, an excellent man, almost worthy of such a wife.
Beautiful. And here's the thing. This line supports my thesis that girl friendships are basically just flirting with each other our whole lives.
Yeah. I'm listening.
And that's it.
That's it.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Women, when they have friends, they are far more supportive than men are.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're affectionate. Like you said, they flirt.
We're flirting with each other constantly.
Yeah.
All the time.
Even if nothing comes of it. always flirting.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How else are you going to build up your bestie, man? You got to tell her them cheeks is glossy.
Yeah. Men would never do that.
No.
If a man did that,
No,
I think if one man said, "Oh, those cheeks are glossy," I think his friend would be like, "Are you okay? Why are you saying that?"
Unless his friend's an asshole too. Yeah, show him, lady.
Tragically, because Miss Temple got married, she moved away.
Mm-hmm.
I'm left with the impression she also moved out of this story. She's done now.
I think that's safe to say.
I could be wrong, but it seems to me like she got her happy ending, and now she's done. She's out. Bye-bye.
You're done.
And it's interesting how Miss Temple leaving has such a profound effect on Jane.
I think it's great. I love it.
I don't dislike it at all. I just find it fascinating because she apparently that day or the next day she had a bit of a holiday, and she spent her holiday just literally pacing around her quarters, thinking. And then when she was done, she was forever changed because she had resolved that she couldn't stay here. Like she was content here, but it was only because of Miss Temple. Now Miss Temple's gone. She has no reason to be here. She's like, I want to see the world. I want to get out of here. Yeah. And so she puts a lot of thought into it before finally deciding to submit an ad in the paper, basically saying like, hey, this is my experience. I'd like to be a governess. She doesn't use the word governess, but she basically describes that she would like to be a governess to children that are 14 or younger, because she doesn't think it would be appropriate to be governess to anyone closer in age to her than that.
Right.
And so she does that, and she gets one response back from a woman called Fairfax. Well, Jane assumes, based on how it's written, that it's an old woman called Fairfax.
Now, I'm going to jump in really quickly with just a sassy little side note.
Yeah.
She asks at the post office if there are any letters for J.E.
Yeah.
Now, when I was a youngster first reading this book, my initials were J.O. My maiden name was O'Brien.
Oh, okay.
Now my initials are J.E.
Yes, they are.
And, did I win the lottery? Maybe. Is that why I married Will? No.
Are you sure? I mean, I'll tell you something.
I married him because he's hot.
I'll tell you something.
What?
When I got married, my wife said that a contributing factor was the fact that being called Kit Carter sounded cute as hell.
Absolutely. It sounds like a, superhero name.
Mm-hmm.
Kit Carter.
Yeah.
Omni-Woman.
Anyway,
yep, there you go.
Anyway, what were you saying?
Kit, you could use that if you want to. Omni-Woman. I just wanted to point out the J.E. of it all. I just love it. Anyway.
Also, the person that Jane spoke to was a bit sassy, because Jane was like, no other letters? That's it.
That is all.
That is all.
Go away.
And so she gets this letter from Fairfax saying that there's a 10-year-old that needs...
under 10 years of age.
Under 10 years of age. A little girl that needs someone to teach her. Mm-hmm. And Fairfax is like, hey, if you can provide references... I mean, she's talking in third person the whole time, right? Yep. Because that's how the ad was written. Like, Jane didn't say, hey, I have 2 years of tutoring, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
She said... a subject to she has 2 years of tutoring, blah, 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 seeking this, that.
Right.
So it's all in third person. And
it's so very weird.
And Jane's like, oh, okay, cool, yeah, all right, I just need to get some references. How the fuck do I get some references? Yeah. And so she goes and talks to the people in charge of the Institute and was like, hey, I would like to move on. I've got this potential job lined up. Would you guys be my references? And they're like, we should probably talk to your guardian. And I'm like, what do you mean talk to her guardian?
She is 18,
but
okay?
She's not of age. She's 3 years off from being of age. And so she apparently still has a guardian. So they write to Mrs. Reed. And Mrs. Reed's like, I don't give a fuck what she does.
She had long relinquished all interference in my affairs.
That's like the best thing she could have said.
Frankly, it's the best thing she could have done.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
She's like, I don't give a fuck about Jane. She can go where she pleases.
Let her do it.
And so the people at the Institute are like, all right.
Good enough.
Okay. Hey, we'll write you some glowing references.
Yeah.
And so Jane submits those references, and then Fairfax is like, great.
That's
be here
sick.
in a fortnight.
Which is 2 weeks.
Yeah. Be here in 2 weeks. And so the next 2 weeks, they go by in a blur. And the night before she leaves, she's all packed up. And she's like, I must get some sleep. But she can't sleep.
She packed up her trunk that I'll note here that she had brought with her 8 years ago.
It's the same trunk.
Yeah,
same trunk. She is a frugal lady.
Why would she need more than that?
I mean, I don't think that it was my choice.
No.
I think that frugalness was foisted upon her.
She only earned £15 per annum. And this new gig, though, £30 per annum.
£30 per year.
Mm-hmm.
Raking in the dough.
Oh, yeah.
To teach one girl.
One little girl.
One little girl.
Please.
That's great. Anyway.
I'd teach several little girls for £30 per annum.
No, you wouldn't.
£30? No, I really don't like
£30 is so little now.
Oh, yeah, that's why I wouldn't do it.
That's like $40 per year.
Now, hold on. I'd like to do a calculation here. Listener, I'll be right back.
This episode is not brought to you by...
So, imagine...
opening Ritz.
Yep.
On mic. You know that sounds terrible, right?
I know.
You're making it terrible.
And here's why your listeners should consider sponsoring the podcast.
Is it so that way you'll stop tormenting them with the sound of mouth noises?
Here's the thing about a buttery Ritz.
Oh, God.
I'm not going to eat just one of these bad boys. I will be eating them all night. Probably not on air.
I hope not.
But what I'm telling you is, if you don't want to hear somebody eating your buttery Ritzes, maybe you should consider sponsoring the podcast. What is it? $12 a year?
No. Sponsorship is different from being a patron, I think.
Okay.
Because if you're a sponsor, you want to pay me to talk about your product.
Right.
If you're being a patron, you're just paying me for the sake of the show.
And so on your Patreon, what are the tiers that you have for people that can support
There's
the
functional
podcast?
readers. For $1 per month, you can stop listening to Jackie eat crackers.
So that's like $12 a year, yeah? I wasn't wrong.
Yes, you're technically correct.
Give or take.
Give or take. And then there's also another tier, the executive reader tier. For $13 per month, you get to hear the episodes as I finish editing them way in advance, before they ever come out. You are still crinkling.
And chewing.
Oh my God. Guys, you gotta
throw us a couple of bucks.
You've got to throw us a couple of bucks, otherwise Jackie's gonna keep doing this.
Frankly, I would keep doing it regardless.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry too, guys. You know, throw a buck or two in the coffee pot.
She's full of shit.
I'm full of Ritzes is what I am.
She's enjoying those buttery Ritzes too much.
Every day.
Oh, gosh.
Back to the episode. So £30 a year, of course, and 18. We're saying about 30.
1830-ish, probably, because the book came out, what was it, 1849?
47.
47.
So, I'm guessing 30 is okay. £30 in 1830 now would be about 2,968.75 pounds.
Which is
chump change, frankly.
Pitiful.
Yeah.
That's pitiful.
But, I mean, it was a job. For a lady.
Double what she's making now, though. So, I get it.
How.
And also, I mean, it's not like she's spending that money, like, while she's at the estate. Like, her room and board is paid for.
Yeah.
Like, she gets food. She gets water. She gets a place to sleep. So.
This is fun money.
This is fun money.
I mean, it's survival money, but.
Anyway.
Brr.
So the night before she leaves, she gets an unexpected visitor. She gets Bessie. And this was nice. This was cute.
It was.
Bessie's basically like, yeah, we heard that you were moving, when the Institute wrote to us, to Mrs. Reed, and So I decided, well, I should probably come and see you before you're out of my reach.
And she says something that gets completely glossed over, and I think it's unfortunate. We'll get there, but I'll point it out when we do.
Okay.
So Bessie talks about her life now.
She's married to the coachman.
Mm-hmm.
They have a child, a 3-year-old son.
Mm-hmm.
Jane invites the boy to come sit on her lap, but he doesn't.
No, I stick with my mama.
He sticks with mama. And Bessie just catches her up on all of the Gateshead estate gossip.
But not before she mentions that besides the little boy that she also has a daughter, a girl, here, that she christened Jane.
I missed that. I forgot about that.
Well, apparently Jane did too, because that was all that was said about it. That was all she wrote.
Oh.
She was like, and you don't live at Gateshead anymore? Bessie was probably like, did you not hear that last part, or?
Just glossed over it.
Okay.
Oh. Named her daughter after Jane, and Jane doesn't give a shit.
No, man.
Well, I mean, Jane's a fairly common name.
Yeah, but...
Could have said something. Should have said something.
Oh, how pretty.
How pretty. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, I'm touched.
I bet she sounds so smart.
Something. But, yeah, so then she talks a bit about the Reeds. Mrs. Reed is about the same as always. John Reed is a fucking failure and a layabout, and he spends too much money. And that's exactly what I thought was going to happen to him.
I love it. What do you think he spends money on?
Women.
It's totally women.
Yeah.
100%.
He's fucking around with prostitutes, for sure.
For sure. Do you think he would have been friends with Dorian?
Absolutely.
In a heartbeat. In a heartbeat.
God, I hope his life would have been ruined by Dorian.
Oh my gosh.
But this was before Dorian.
Only by a little.
Like a few decades.
Only by a little. What are decades to Dorian?
And then she says that one of the Reed ladies nearly got married, but the boy's family wouldn't have it, and so they tried to go off in secret to get married, and Mrs. Reed caught him and put a stop to that. The other girl is dreadful. I don't know. Nothing notable was said about the other girl.
But I will say that Bessie brings up something that is very, very interesting. And, listener, you should very much keep it in mind. Put it in your notebook that you've got. I know you have one. Right next to your sleeve of buttery Ritzes. And your 6 copies of Jane Eyre.
You know, the image you have in your mind of the person listening to this right now
it's just me.
Is you? Are you picturing you? I love that.
There's a cat sitting right next to you here, and a little Coca-Cola right over here.
Uh-huh.
And my son is playing the trumpet in the distance.
Uh-huh.
And the other one's yelling at me about where is this? Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, this is something
that you should keep in mind.
That is interesting to know. So Bessie talks about that somebody had come to Gateshead, and she asks, have you ever heard anything out of your father's kinsfolk?
Oh, I had forgotten about this.
How could you?
Because, it seems to matter so little in Jane's day-to-day.
How about that?
Go on.
So, Jane says, I've never heard from anybody at all. So she says, well, somebody had come to the house, says about 7 years ago, right after Jane had left.
Year after.
Yeah. And he wanted to see her, and she said his name was a Mr. Eyre. He was told that she was at school about 50 miles away. He was disappointed, but he couldn't stay, and that he was sailing to a foreign country from London in about 2 days' time. He looked quite a gentleman. I believe he was your father's brother. She asks Bessie what foreign country was it going to, and Bessie's like, I don't know, an island 1,000 miles from here. They make wine. And Jane guesses, is it Madeira? And she says, yeah, that's the one. Okay, Bessie. Is it? Who knows? Regardless.
This is tragic. Mrs. Reed couldn't even be bothered to write and say, hey, your uncle came by, FYI.
Mrs. Reed washed her hands so fast of Jane.
Yeah.
I mean, before she even left.
Yeah.
Hell,
just remember that we were best friends. Fuck you, Mrs. Reed.
Right. No, thank you.
We were never friends.
So, she says that he didn't stay very long. He just scooted out of there. But that Bessie's husband thinks maybe he was a wine merchant or something, because that's what they do in Madeira. They kind of hang out a little bit, and then Jane...
Chit-chat, nice. Yeah. It's just nice. It's
just
catching
nice.
up.
Cozy and nice.
Yeah. And that's kind of how the chapter ends.
Yeah. They went their separate ways. And she said, I went on to my new duties and a new life in the unknown environs of Millcote. But anyway, somebody should write that down. Keep that in mind.
Just keep that in mind.
I don't know.
Tuck that in your pocket. Like, hey, there's a wayward uncle somewhere.
I know you're annotating this book right now, guys.
I find it a little bit tragic. Just, man. And then, like, Jane, of course, does nothing with this, because what's she supposed to do?
What's she supposed to do?
Write to Mrs. Reed and be like, hey, tell me where my uncle is. Like, it was 7 years ago.
Yeah. Miss Reed. What would she do anyway? It's not like she's going to read that letter.
No, she would never.
No.
She would never.
She would see that it's from Jane Eyre, and she's throwing that bitch right into the fire.
Right in the trash.
She doesn't care at all. Might curse her name a little bit. Throw that paper right into the red room.
I hope that John Reed marries a woman that realizes very quickly that he is a piece of garbage and makes his life a living hell. And I hope that the ladies Reed never get married and turn into spinsters and die alone. That these are the fates that the Reed children should have foisted upon them.
Definitely. I agree. I do. I agree.
Chapter 11.
So Jane starts scooting boots, boys. Splitting biscuits.
I like the way this chapter starts. Like, Jane has a way of, like, transitions, I find.
Yeah.
Like, the way she's like, hey, 8 years later, let me just
briefly
join, join these timelines.
Yeah.
And I like the way this chapter starts, too. She's like, hey, the start of a new chapter is like the beginning of a new scene in a play. Mm-hmm. Therefore, picture a room at the George Inn in Millcote, which is where her new home will be. And she proceeds to describe what her room is like.
Millcote.
Huh?
It's an inn in Millcote.
Yeah, what did I say?
You said her new home.
Which is where her new home will be. Nearby. In Millcote, or whatever the fuck it's called.
I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Because she arrives, and then she assumes that somebody's gonna be there to collect her. Nobody does. Mm-hmm. And this is, I thought, was an interesting moment. Like this moment where she's a little bit terrified because she was expecting somebody to be there for her. like someone would be there for a child.
Yeah.
Right? I think she is, like, the only thing that she has to base traveling from one place to another on is her original time doing that to Lowood. Mm-hmm. With Lowood, she had somebody monitoring her the whole time, and then when she arrived where she was supposed to be, there was a woman that was like, is there a little girl named Jane Eyre here? She was like, yeah, that's me, and then, like, she was helped. Yeah. Here, nothing.
Nope.
Nothing like that.
So what I really like is there's a quote in here talking about, her being alone as a young woman. It says, the charm of adventure sweetens that sensation of this fear of being alone.
Yeah.
Sweetens that sensation. The glow of pride warms it, but then the throb of fear disturbs it. That's part of that quote. I'm not going to read the entire thing, but then she's like, you know what? I'm just going to ask somebody.
Yeah. Yeah. Eventually she just is like, hey, is anybody here for... What is it she says? She asks if anybody is here from somewhere.
Asks, is there a place in this neighborhood called Thornfield?
There you go.
She says, I don't know. I'll ask at the bar. So the guy leaves, and he comes back asking, is your name Eyre, miss? She says, yes. Well, there's somebody waiting for you.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, damn.
Great. Awesome.
So she gets in the carriage. He says it's about 6 miles away.
Yeah. And so that takes... pretty much the rest of the day.
8 years to get there.
It takes a while. And so when she gets there, she meets this woman, Fairfax, who's a fairly hospitable woman, at least on a first impression. Like, the woman is knitting with a cat at her feet when Jane meets her.
She's my people.
And then she tells the servant girl, Leah, to fetch Jane. I don't know how it's pronounced. Like, is it?
It's pronounced Negus.
Are you sure?
Yes.
You have the magic of the internet telling you this?
No, I just know it.
You just know it? Okay.
Wink, wink.
Cool.
A negus is a hot drink of port with sugar, lemon, and some
It
spices.
sounds lovely.
Sounds delightful.
That's not the description I got.
Some cozy
when
shit.
I looked it up, because I still have that PDF copy.
Yeah.
It said that negus is this drink of sweet wine mixed with hot water. Either way, it sounds refreshing.
Yeah. Reviving is what it sounds.
Mm-hmm.
I'd take some. So Fairfax sort of draws her near the fire and sees her just start to be comfortable, and Jane starts thinking, like, she's treating me like a visitor. I didn't expect this reception. And she asks, am I going to meet Miss Fairfax tonight? And then, of course, immediately Miss Fairfax is like, hey, I'm a little deaf.
Can you she's like she does that classic old person thing where she tilts her head and holds her ear out and it's like, can you say that again? I'm a little deaf.
So she repeats, she says, am I going to meet Miss Fairfax? She said, oh, you mean Miss Varens.
Yeah.
Varens is the name of your future pupil.
Yeah, Jane made a lot of assumptions about what the nature of this...
To be fair, I mean, come on.
I mean, she knew nothing.
Nothing.
Like Fairfax was just like, awesome! I'm gonna, like, just come by in a fortnight.
Come on in.
Come on in.
So, yeah, Jane's super excited to meet this little girl. So Miss Fairfax starts talking to her a little bit more about the place where she lives. She says that Thornfield is a fine old hall, rather neglected of late years. She says that she stays there alone with Leah and John and his wife. I think John was the coachman that she just rode in with.
Yeah, that sounds right.
But she says they're only servants, and you can't really, she says, one can't converse with them on terms of equality. One must keep them at due distance, for fear of losing one's authority. I honestly think that's probably the harshest thing that Miss Fairfax is ever going to say.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, it wasn't even that harsh.
Wasn't
like,
really
I
that
mean,
bad.
it's true. Like, if you are an employer, you can't make friends with your employees because otherwise the lines start to get blurred. And then, like, when you've got to enforce your authority, then there's like hurt feelings and resentment, and it's just better to just not be friends.
We're just not going to be buddies.
Yeah.
No matter how lonely it gets in this bitch.
Right.
So she talks about, last winter was awful because I was all alone. It was sad and really cold.
Yeah.
And she's really, really excited to have somebody here. She says that having a child in the house makes it feel all alive. And she gives us the name all the way of her pupil, and she calls her Adela Varens.
Adele of Varens.
Adela.
That's how you pronounce it?
Adela.
What's that little thing over the E?
There's no little thing. There's no accent, a gu or a grav.
Yes, there is.
Is not.
Yeah, huh?
Not in my book.
Well, in my book... Well, sorry, okay.
Nah.
So, in the copy of the book you gave me, there's nothing over the E. In the first E in Adela.
Uh-huh.
In the PDF copy I have, there's like a little.
Does it go from?
It goes left facing. There's a left facing apostrophe over the E.
Going from the upper left down toward the bottom right, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. It wouldn't really change the pronunciation of the word.
Okay. Still Adela.
So that's an accent grav.
I don't know what that means.
It's just a type of accent.
Okay.
There's grav and then there's acute. So Miss Fairfax basically just kind of takes her, after she's warmed up, she gets all cozy. She takes her through the house to get to her room. She describes her first impressions of this place that she's staying, Thornfield Hall. And of course, it's dark. It's 12 o'clock now, midnight. And there's no lights. There's only Miss Fairfax's shaky little candle to light their way. So Jane sees banisters of oak, staircase windows that are high and latticed, a long gallery with doors open like they belonged to a church rather than a house.
Foreboding.
She says the very chill and vault-like air in the gallery, suggesting cheerless ideas of space and solitude. And she was glad when she finally got to her room. Miss Fairfax put her in a room just next to hers. She figured that would be nice for her so she wasn't all over the damn place. she says the chamber looked like such a bright little place as the sun shone when she woke up. Between the gay blue chintz window curtains and the papered walls, carpeted floor. Completely different from Lowood.
Completely.
Fully different. Couldn't be more different. Insane.
Good.
Yeah, good. God, good for Jane.
Good for Jane.
She just needed a little softness, man.
Just a little bit.
So she gets up, she goes downstairs, she's wearing the nicest thing she can without being weird about it. She says that she was just trying to make herself look presentable.
Yeah.
She walks down through the house to find anybody else.
She finds Fairfax.
She does find Fairfax, but not before she starts kind of describing more of what she sees.
Now that it's daylight.
Which, more grandeur, more vastness. Like, it is not a foreboding, spooky house necessarily.
It's just big.
It's just real big and kind of cold and not homey, not super cozy.
Too big.
A little big.
And so here, in this interaction, the second interaction with Fairfax, this is where we get our first mention of the dreaded Rochester.
Well, she doesn't know that he should be dreaded quite yet.
No, I know that he should be dreaded because of a few things. One, because when I was telling you, fuck the Brocklehursts, you were like, oh, wait till you meet Rochester.
Oh, girl.
So you said that. Also, I may have mentioned a little Reddit post I made on the book subreddit that blew up. I didn't read very much.
No, you made me read it.
I made you read it, but like, I stopped when I got the sense that I was reading spoilers, and I didn't really retain any of it, but I remember people mentioning the name Rochester. Mm-hmm. As well, my wife, I was telling her...
My wife?
She's read this book, and she has strong feelings about this book, and she kept those feelings to herself until I started talking about Helen dying and her moving, and she's like, have you met Rochester yet? And I'm like, no, I haven't.
We about to get there.
So what she said about Rochester, nothing of substance, but I got a lot of vibes, and I'm led to believe, based on everything that I've heard, that Rochester is the devil. He's evil personified. He must die. And you know what? I'm here for it. Kill him, Jane. Kill him.
Well, you're gonna have to keep reading because you might be a little bit misled in areas.
Well, this is what happens when you're only told, like, oh, you're gonna hate him. You're gonna hate him.
I didn't tell you would hate Rochester.
No, Kit told me that I would hate Rochester.
Well, you probably will a little bit.
A little bit.
Don't kill him, though.
Yeah.
He's whatever.
And so
he's just a rich bit.
And so we finally get to meet Adela. And so Jane starts talking to this girl, and it starts positively, right? Because this girl largely speaks French. Like, she knows a little bit of English, but not enough to really carry a conversation.
Oui, vraiment.
Fairfax doesn't speak a lick of French.
No.
And so once it becomes clear that Jane and Adela can actually talk, like, Adela's super fucking excited, just starts gabbing, like, you know, like a little girl would when she's not been able to really talk to anybody except for her nurse.
Who she calls her bun.
Her bun.
Which is so sweet.
Yeah. And so she starts going on and on and on, and then Fairfax is like, could you ask her about her parents? And so... And so...
Hey, could you just...
So Jane tries, but Adela is much more interested in showing off what she can do. She's like, can I sing to you? He's like, okay. Mm-hmm. And so then she starts to sing some song from an opera.
Beautiful.
And I think it's so funny, this song, because, so Jane tells us what the song is about. Mm-hmm. It's about this woman who is wronged by her man. I assume because the man cheated on her. And so she decides to just dress up in her fucking best outfit. She pulls a Princess Diana.
Hell yes.
So she goes all out, and then she meets her man out in public, and to prove to him how little whatever it is he did hurts her. And I have a quote I want you to read. So this is This is red flag number 1.
The subject seemed strangely chosen for an infant singer. But I suppose the point of the exhibition lay in hearing the notes of love and jealousy warbled with the lisp of childhood. And in very bad taste, that point was. At least I thought so.
Red flag number 1. Red flag number 1.
I think that it says far more about the person who taught it to her than anything else, which would have been her mother.
Red flag.
I wonder how many red flags you're about to see in this book.
The second red
You're gonna
flag.
run out of them.
I mean, maybe it's not a red flag, but it's like a beige
It's
flag.
kind of like a...
She's like, I don't know. So she's like, So Jane is like, oh, hey, that sounded very nice. Tell me more about your parents. And so the girl's
okay, shut up.
The girl's like, oh, my mom, she went to... So the way she phrased it, it sounded metaphorical. I don't know if, like, either her mother joined the clergy or her mother died.
She died.
She died. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mama went to the Holy Virgin.
Okay. That's what that meant.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So she's like, oh, yeah, Mama died. And she was like, okay, well, what about your dad? And nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Got nothing. And so then she's like, oh, I want to read poetry. I want to recite poetry to you. And so then she recites something from a French text. I don't know how to say it in French, but it means the League of Rats.
Mm-hmm.
Red flag number 2. Maybe. Maybe. I don't know why a girl is reciting poetry from something called the League of Rats. This does not sound appropriate for an 8 or 9-year-old. Red flag number 2.
Probably not. Yeah.
And so, so Jane gets a little bit of info out of her and lets Fairfax know. And then, I don't remember exactly what happened at this point. Adela fucks off, and then Fairfax shows Jane around the place. Mm-hmm. And we get some interesting stuff, right?
Yes,
so
we do.
The first thing we get of note is Jane questions Fairfax about Rochester, because Fairfax says and does some things that indicate to Jane, maybe I should be a little concerned. And, like, for instance, how neatly and nicely done Rochester's quarters are. It's like, it's so nice in here. And Fairfax says something along the lines of, oh, well, we never know when Rochester's going to be home, but when he is home, if he saw that his quarters were a mess, he'd be pissed.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay.
Is he exacting and fastidious?
Yeah.
She's like, no.
Like, and so Jane, like, finally, like, she's kind of beating around the bush, and Fairfax isn't really answering what she's driving at. And so finally she's like, tell me what this guy's like.
Yeah.
And
what is his character?
Fairfax really has nothing particular to say. Like, as far as she's concerned, oh, he's my employer. He's the master of the house. He's fine.
Yeah, she says it's not easy to describe the ways that maybe he's kind of peculiar. Nothing striking, but you feel it when he speaks to you. You cannot always be sure whether he is in jest or earnest, whether he is pleased or the contrary. You don't thoroughly understand him, in short. At least I don't.
I don't like that.
I feel like that should be your red flag, honey. Don't worry about Adela. She'll be fine.
Red flag number 3. There's some things wrong here.
Yeah.
So, the second thing that I thought was interesting, Jane doesn't spell it out here, but it felt pretty spelled out to me when I read it. So Fairfax is showing Jane around the place, and she shows Jane, like, this narrow space that nobody really goes to that leads up to the attic.
Mm-hmm.
And Jane kind of lingers here for a minute, and it seemed apparent to me, like, oh, this is going to be your hideaway place now. This is where you're going to go when you need to be alone. Got it. The third thing that stood out to me was how we're introduced to a Mrs. Grace Poole.
Mm-hmm.
She has a laugh that carries, and it startles Jane. You're winking at me again.
No, I'm not.
And so Jane is like, did you hear that? And Fairfax is like, yeah, I did.
It's just Grace.
It's just Grace. And Grace, basically, she just does this. She's just loud, and it's, like, just normal, like, for her to be loud.
Mm-hmm.
And they had just been talking about ghosts, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's a moment where Fairfax makes a comment about a certain space in the house. Was like, if there were ghosts here, here is where they would be. And Jane's like, there's no ghosts, though, right? And Fairfax, no, girl, no, it's fine. There's no ghosts. There's no ghosts. There's no ghosts.
Oh, of course.
But they had just been talking about ghosts. And so Jane was like, fuck, ghost! And Fairfax is like, no, it's just Grace.
Oh, no. So Fairfax starts yelling, too much noise, Grace. Shut up. Remember directions, she said. So
I'm led to believe Grace is a simpleton. That's what I'm led to believe. Like, the way that Fairfax treats Grace, the way Grace behaves.
I don't know.
I'm led to believe that maybe there's a couple lights out in the attic. That's what I'm led to believe.
Interesting.
Yeah.
An interesting presumption.
Yeah.
Double winkities.
And the chapter ends pretty close to this point. I forget exactly how it ends.
Well, she just tells Jane that Grace is a person we have to sew and assist Leah in her housemaid's work. She does well enough, whatever. And she's like, how's your new pupil this morning? So they start talking about Adela, and she just basically moves on. Adela bursts in, telling them, ladies, you are served. I'm so hungry right now.
Is that what she's saying?
Oui, madame, vous êtes servie. And then she says, j'ai bien faim, moi.
Okay. Yeah.
Ladies,
so there's moments
you're
where
served.
Adela just
I'm very
speaks-
hungry, mate.
There's moments where Adela just speaks French, and I'm just lost. I'm just like, okay, I don't know.
That's what I'm here for. That's okay.
If I want to know what she's saying, I have to look at the PDF copy because there's a citation that translates.
Yeah.
But I didn't translate this. I didn't check.
That's okay.
So that's good enough.
I got you.
You got me. And so, yeah, that's where we're going to end it today. I understand why you wanted to just do 3 chapters for this episode.
Mm-hmm.
A lot happens.
Yeah, I broke them up. We are used to, when we did Dorian together, we stuck specifically to like 4 chapters a pop. I think.
We did 3.
Was it 3?
Yeah.
3 or sure, whatever. It's 3 chapters a pop, and that worked out really well for us.
You felt 4 was better up to this point.
I feel like I'm not set in how many chapters I wanted to. I broke this up.
Yeah, you did.
And
I felt it was appropriate for you to decide how many chapters we cover.
I appreciate that. So I set up a spreadsheet.
Yeah, you did. I love that spreadsheet. It's a great spreadsheet. It lays it all out exactly how you want us to cover it. It really does. We've got dates for whenever we're recording. It's great. Little notes to reference, like, oh, this is what these chapters are going to be about. Yep. Yeah.
I'm an organized lady. I don't know what you want from me.
I love it. I love it. It's great. I love organization, and I love it when other people do it for me.
Oh, I didn't do it for you.
No, you didn't do it for me, but you did do it when I asked you to, and I appreciate it.
I did it in partnership for this.
Yeah.
I did it for you, listener.
I asked you, hey, how should we break this up? And you came back with a spreadsheet.
I said, wait, hold on a minute, fam. Check this bad boy out.
Yeah. So, I thought this was interesting. Like, I get why you wanted to just do a whole episode for these 3 chapters, because a lot happens, but it's all, like, different.
It's all kind of clumped up. These are, like, not miscellaneous chapters, but they feel a little kind of...
transition chapters.
Very much.
Right, Helen dies, fast forward 8 years, Jane gets a new job. Like, that's a lot, and it's not all strictly related, except